Good morning, everyone. 2 minutes ago, I was not running late, but then I opened Snarky Weather and somebody died, and I'm like, I don't recognize this name. So I had to go into quick research mode, and then it was time to start the broadcast. So here we are. This is Coffee and Headlines. This is Svitzy Coffee and Headlines. I forgot to put my ice cubes. Forgot to put water in my ice cube tray, so it's back to warm coffee and headlines for me today. Today is Friday, 4th of August. It is Friday, and it's a good thing. Why?
Thank God it's.
Because I have nothing going on other than work today. I hope you're getting excited for a wonderful weekend. I am excited for a wonderful weekend, and I'm all energized because I went to see Barbie again yesterday. No, it's not like I'm going to become a Barbie tour guide, but I had friends whose expressions I absolutely had to relate to while watching the movie again. And it was amazing. The second time I watched it, I liked it even more. But enough about that. This is Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together with news and headlines and a little bit of snark. And today it's a special day. Today is International Beer Day. So we're going to have a little celebrations, even if it's only 10:34 in the morning. Before we go there, of course, I want to welcome you all, and particularly welcome those of you that are watching live for the first time. If you'd like a little welcome, hey, just let us know that you're watching live for the first time and write the word new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Duh. If you write the word old, we will do absolutely nothing. No, we may laugh a little bit, but not at you. We will laugh with you. And of course, if there's something really important that you wish to share, adding a capital letter Q goes a long way for us to find your comment, such as Den. For those of you who have met our daughter Jess, she's doing really great. She just successfully filed all of her divorce paperwork, and her divorce will be final on November 3rd. We are so happy and proud of her. I think, Dan, you and Kathy should buy Jess a round trip ticket to Puerto Vallarta so that she can come down here and celebrate with us. We're going to throw Jess a big party. Those of us that know Jess, she is a wonderful lady, and she is deserving of every wonderful thing that life has to offer to her. So Jess, if you're watching, and I know you do from time to time, you go. With that said, let us jump into the news, which I'm going to put up on the screen right now. There you go. We're going to start with a duh. The headline says, contaminated beaches affect Puerto Vallarta's image. You think? Alejandro Torres Magaña, director of Puerto Vallarta's Hotel and Motel Association, was interviewed, and he said that contaminated beaches affect the image of our city. As we kick off our summer season. Well, duh. Of course, this all stems from the recent restriction made by the federal government about the Oasis Beach not being suitable for swimming. And of course, as a result, some movers and shakers are nervously pointing fingers wherever they can for something to be done and soon, which of course you cannot do. I mean, we explained a few weeks ago how the increase in rain raises water levels in rivers, and raised water levels in rivers increase the chances of trash moving from one place to another. And that trash can be something as spectacular as a sofa that somebody threw away in the river without giving a shit, or it can be something as minuscule or microscopic as caca molecules that a cow dumped on the river and they started floating downstream. But it's not like you can then go upriver and dump bucketfuls of Clorox or Pine Sol to make the problem go away. If there are naughty, stinky molecules in the water, it'll take some time for these to go away, but nevertheless, the people with power are nervously pointing at everybody else, thinking, well, we got to work on this. We got to get rid of the caca water, and quickly. In a separate news item, beach tourism director and former Puerto Vallarta mayor Arturo Dávalos Peña exhorted locals to not throw contaminants into rivers and streams as they affect the quality of our beaches and affects the city's tourism image. Now, don't get me started on that one. Can I just step on the stool for a second, if I may? It is really amusing that we get these politicians that get put into office, like Arturo Dávalos, and during their run as politicians, they make all kinds of maneuvers to benefit themselves and benefit the city's tourism industry, because it's the industry of the city, and oftentimes neglecting the wants and the needs of regular city residents like you and I that maybe have something to do with tourism or maybe don't. And then they go away and they take other positions in office. And this one, of course, Dávalos is now the director of beach tourism. And when I read him saying, well, don't throw things in the river, I'm hearing him say, don't mess things up for the city that we already messed up, but don't contribute in the messing. I don't know. I just get really worked up about it. Pay no attention to me. Let's move on to the next item. I just think it's crazy and silly that they think these problems are going to go away overnight. And it makes me wonder, why tackle these things when it's already a problem? Why not prevent? But then again, it's Friday. We're not going to get worked up about this. We're going to go and drink beer because it's International Beer Day. But first, as we mentioned yesterday, SEAPAL will modify water bills for residents in 60 local colonias for the periods from March to June due to the recent water shortages experienced. For more information, if you happened to experience severe water shortages in the last few months, you have to go to the SEAPAL office at their Francisco Villa location and fill out some paperwork. Of course, none of this is stopping tourism from arriving, and it's been a little over 2 weeks since Mexico's summer vacation began, and the Puerto Vallarta bus terminal is keeping quite busy. In fact, there are presently 10% more arrivals than last year at the same time. Just this Sunday alone, the bus terminal welcomed 2,756 passengers, which is the highest number, daily number, since vacation began on July 19. It is expected that by summer's end, over 55,000 tourists will have come and gone by bus transportation. And now we're going to wrap up the news section with something that is important. It's something that doesn't affect us directly as Puerto Vallarta residents, but it is something that you may hear about and read about elsewhere, and this has to do with Mexico's free school textbooks and all the problems that have arisen with the latest edition of these books. So I'm going to share a little bit of background information so that you can at least have a basic conversation about this, should this come up in conversation for you. For starters, it was back on February 12th, 1959, that President Adolfo López Mateos established by decree the National Commission for Free Textbooks to oversee, and I quote, establishing in accordance with the methodology and respective programs the characteristics of the textbooks intended for elementary education. And this was published back in the official Gazette in that year. The initiative was, of course, based on the constitutional mandate to provide compulsory and free educations to Mexicans. The gratuity would only be complete, or the goal could only be accomplished, when elementary school students received the essential books for their studies and tasks at no cost. So, since 1959, Mexico guarantees free elementary education, well, free education actually, and in order to be able to accomplish that, of course, they had to make free textbooks available for all schools. So I remember, since going to school as a child, we would get these free textbooks, and that's what was taught. Now, what was put into those textbooks was obviously decided by Mexico's Secretary of Education and people that know about textbook content and whatnot. Now, the problem with the latest batch of textbooks stems from the fact that there are mistakes in the textbooks. And depending on who you ask, this is either a content issue or a political issue or both. You see, the errors go from typos, basic typos that shouldn't exist in books, but still basic typos, or other omissions, or more important stuff. Some people, I've seen reports that say that there are some geometric figures that are identified improperly. I saw somebody complaining about the fact that there's an illustration in one of the books of the planets in the solar system, but the planets are not drawn to scale. And these things are easy to fix, but of course not after all the books have been fracking printed. But then there are those that are making political accusations as well, stating that the ideology that is going into these books may or may not be influenced by the current government. So things are a little dicey, and I don't know exactly what is going to happen with this, but 3 states in Mexico, including the state of Jalisco, our state, have now decided not to use the official books. And this makes things a little bit complicated for the government. I don't know exactly what's going to happen about this, but because I'm seeing international headlines about this subject, I thought I would share the information with you. All that said, let us see what our weatherman is up to. And as I mentioned, it says, rest in peace, Hector Salamanca. I did a little bit of research, and Hector Salamanca was a character in Breaking Bad, but I don't know why he's dead. I don't know why, if the actor passed away. I don't know. All I know is that it is 29 degrees right now. Humidity is at 79%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 85. Our weather forecast as we begin the weekend: thunderstorms with light winds, a chance of rain of 71%, a high of 32, and a low of 24. Tomorrow, Saturday, we can expect thunderstorms in the morning with mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 57%, a high temperature of 32, and a low temperature of 24. And we wrap up the weekend with a humid day and mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, a chance of rain of 21%, a high of 34, and a low of 24. Yay. Now, moving right along, as I was mentioning earlier, today is International Beer Day. Happy International Beer Day to all that are watching. The celebration was first founded in 2007 in Santa Cruz, California, and quickly became a worldwide celebration spanning 2007 cities, 80 countries, and 6 continents. Now, according to the founders, we are to the celebration has 3 declared purposes, and this is what we are supposed to do today. Number 1, gather with friends and enjoy the taste of beer. Number 2, celebrate those responsible for brewing and serving beer. And number 3, to unite the world under the banner of beer by celebrating the beers of all nations together on a single day. This all sounds so lofty and beautiful, but what about belching? I mean, I'm going to declare local beer belch day. It may not be today, but I think if you're going to drink beer, you got to talk about belching. I mean, do you not belch when you drink beer? Anyhow, feel free to comment on that or not. Here are 10 facts about beer drinking in Mexico that you may find interesting. Here are 10 interesting facts about beer drinking in Mexico. Number 1, Mexico is the 11th largest beer consumer in the world and the 4th largest beer producer in the world. Number 2, the most popular beer in Mexico is Corona Extra, followed by Modelo Especial, Tecate, and Sol. Number 3, Mexico is the largest exporter of beer in the world, with exports exceeding more than $2 billion US annually. Number 4, the Aztecs drank a fermented beverage called pulque, which is made from the sap of the agave plant. This is considered to be the ancestor of modern Mexican beer. Number 5, the first brewery in Mexico was founded in 1544 by Spanish colonists. Number 6, Mexican beers are typically lighter and more refreshing than beers from other countries. This is due to the fact that they are brewed with more water and less malt. Number 7, micheladas are a popular Mexican beer cocktail made with beer, lime, juice, hot sauce, and spices. They are different than cheladas, which only include lime juice. Number 8, beer is often served with a side of lime in Mexico. This is because the lime helps to cut the bitterness of the beer and add a refreshing flavor. Number 9, it is not considered rude in Mexico to drink beer straight from the bottle. This is perfectly normal in both the private sector and most restaurants. Number 10, beer is a popular drink at sporting events, festivals, and parties in Mexico. It is also often enjoyed with food, especially tacos and other Mexican dishes. I hope you found these facts interesting. And I hope that you will go out and drink some beer today and that you will belch with shameless abandon. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so now, chit chat. Let's see what you guys are up to today. I see good mornings as always, which I love, 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 love. Let's see. Mark, how are you? All went well. Oh, good. Mark says all went well and I can go home in a day or 2. I am so happy to hear this. Yay. Congratulations. I am so very happy. Let's see what else we have. Doo-dee-doo-doo-doo. Uh-oh. Gary has warned everybody. 7 days and I'll be back. You have been warned. Okay. Let's see. Christy, yay, I made it here this morning. My days are not the same when I can't start with coffee and headlines. That is such a sweet thought. Thank you very much. Linda says, wasn't last night's lightning awesome? Well, I was in the movie theater yesterday afternoon and I was hanging out with friends that have a convertible vehicle without a hood. So halfway through the movie, I was like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen with Greta? But things went well. Things went well. Let us see. Judy, a new person. Yes, Judy Ulmer. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name properly, Judy. Welcome to Coffee and Headlines. Thank you for joining us live Thank you for being with us. If you have any comments, questions, ideas, or suggestions, this is the place to go at it. We don't know much about golf. We don't know much about sailing. We don't know much about some things, but we do try to connect as best as we can. Oh, Jill. Oh, what a great last name. Davis Curtis. Jill Davis Curtis was referred by Ken and April. Well, thank you, Ken and April, for the referral. Jill, welcome to Coffee and Headlines Live. If there's anything that you want to... What? Christy, this is horrible. Wasn't a nasty accident last week? Fractured a sternum and totaled car? Oh my goodness. I hope you're okay, my dear friend. I didn't know. This is... Oh my goodness. What do you need? Can we send beer? Or wine? Crochet. No, seriously, Christy, I hope... This is sad to hear. I hope you're going to be fine. I really do. Please follow all the instructions that you get from the pros. Fractured sternum is like having cracked ribs. Nothing to do but rest and pass the time. Oh, Christy, I hope you got good medication. There's some great shit on Netflix right now. So please take good care of yourself. Let's see what else we have. Pardon my blooper. It's a great morning in LA, but still wish I was in PV. I must have missed the blooper, but it's great to see you, Deb. Let's see. Come on, Julia. Watching live for the first time naked. Well, I wish I could be naked, but maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. From the waist down. You'll never know. Yay beer day. Yay beer day. Many comments about beer. And thank you for confirming that, Bill. When I asked my intelligent speaker back there, we won't call her by name because we don't want to trigger yours, or maybe we will. The speaker said that to the best of her knowledge, Mark Margolis was still alive, but now I'm sad to read that he has passed away. Let's see. Brian says pulque is definitely an acquired taste. I agree with you. I don't enjoy pulque. I know friends that love the stuff and drink it frequently. It's not for me. It's not for me. Pat loves pulque, but definitely not what you'd expect. But I probably thought that at first about beer too. It's interesting because I was not a beer drinker during my teenage years because rum was my family's or my mother's booze of choice at home. So wherever I went, I always asked for rum and cokes. Then I went to the United States and I started drinking microbrewery stuff up there, and that made me a huge fan. And now as an adult, how can anyone resist a cold beer, particularly this time of year? So again, if you wish to celebrate International Beer Day, or if you need a good excuse to go drink a really cold brewski, today is the day to do it. But first, let us wrap up today's broadcast. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. Thank you very much for joining me every morning. And thank you for making our broadcast possible. You know, it's all your doing that we're here every day. And we are very, very grateful for that. Tomorrow, we will be back as usual. And we will be back excited with new content, new ideas, new suggestions, and new stories. So, go have an amazing day, and I will see you again soon.